Hello, everybody, and welcome to First Round Showdown. Today, we'll be talking about Kirby's Dream Land, the game that started it all. Kirby's Dream Land was developed by HAL Laboratory and released in 1992 for the Nintendo Game Boy.
92. Wow.
1992. I was
Man,
but a wee little baby.
there you go.
So what's up, guys? How are y'all doing?
Doing great. Enjoyed the game.
Yeah, this is your. Sorry. Wife calling me.
Good timing.
Continue. I know, perfect timing. Hold on. I'll be in trouble if I don't answer this.
Right. Yeah, had a pretty good week. Enjoyed the game. Like I said, pretty short but simplistic, but very enjoyable. I mean, we'll get into it, but I think it's great. It's the great start of an amazing series from what everybody tells me. I haven't played many of them, but what I have played, I enjoyed. So,
well, don't worry because you will. You will be playing more Kirby. I can promise you.
Yes,
we will.
We will. I want to apologize to everybody because last week I said this was quintessential Kirby, and it is. But this is not the game I grew up playing.
Yeah. So did you think that this was different than?
I thought it was Kirby's Dream Land. I grew up playing Dreamland 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because that's what I was gonna say. I remember. So I didn't own this game. My cousin did, and he had a brick Game Boy. I was a Game Gear kid, so he had an old school brick Game Boy. This was one of the games that he had, and God, everybody's got to interrupt me at all points of time. What's up, Flynn? Oh my gosh. Okay. Pikmin 4 took precedence here.
There you go.
So I didn't grow up with it. I own a copy of it now. You can see I got it here in my GBA. If my camera will focus, it won't. But I was like, this is a basic game for sure. It has all the qualities you want in a Game Boy game, but these are the kind of games where I sit down and I'm like, Tetris I could play for like a million years. You can constantly go back to it. This, on the other hand, feels like once you get through it, I'm like, I don't know how many times you want to like go play that. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like you kind of get through it.
It's good to set you up for the sequel.
Yeah,
it's an alright game, but like as soon as I fired this up and I was playing it, and then I realized there were no power-ups, I was like, this is not what I played.
That's one of the first things I realized. I'm like, wait a minute, how come I'm not doing anything here?
Yeah, it's you basically can. I got in trouble for saying this on TikTok. All my comments were filtered, but you can basically only suck and blow. Those are your kind of options right there. Not much you can do. You can kind of like you dash and then you can fly indefinitely, but in order to attack an enemy, you have to essentially blow out and you're going to drop or whatever. But
yeah,
I was thinking about it because it was like it is like a really well-rounded game though. All of those things being said, I mean, it feels like we just
it's very well made. It's just not. It's a good game if there weren't other Kirby games.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of the point that I was making the last time, like when we hit this, and I'm like, oh, I already know how I feel about this. I know this is a great game, but there are just other Kirby games that are like this, but better and have more to it. So
I feel like Kirby has just evolved well through time.
Yeah,
as a series,
only gotten better. Only gotten better. Yeah.
It has only gotten better, but it's one of those things that has like the smallest incremental changes or improvements, and Mario could arguably sort of be the same thing at its core, like Mario's Mario, but like not much changes with Kirby. It's pretty Kirby, except for the Forgotten Land, which I want to talk about the Forgotten Land too. But
I mean, I feel like we have to at this point. Forgotten Land is so good. Like it is
really, really good.
It might be one of my favorite Switch games.
But really. I mean, that's one we should definitely co-op stream. I think for sure that game is a lot of fun.
I definitely need to get up on my Switch collection because I do have it. I'm okay for now. But yeah, I heard a lot of good stuff about them. So
Yeah, the Forgotten Lands it reminds me a lot. Have you played Super Mario 3D World? It was for the Wii U and the Switch. They ported it to the Switch, but it reminds me a lot of that. It's like a full
3D World. Maybe.
yeah,
Maybe.
like a full on 3D Kirby. Like it's
okay.
It kind of has like a linear open level design, if you will. It's not completely running in a straight line, but there's a lot of like secrets and collectibles if that's your thing, and
It's just
had
beautifully done.
Is it really?
Really beautiful. It has like a fully orchestrated kind of soundtrack similar to some of the more modern Mario games. It's cooperative. It's through the entire game.
Nice.
And yeah, my son and I we just had a blast playing it. It's got kind of a little cool like town building element, I guess, if you will. It's not one that you get to customize or anything, but the story's cute and fun, and
it's like a place you go between levels. They're a little town.
Yeah.
You can buy things and
it's a hub, a little hub world.
Yeah.
There you go.
But
it's a very interesting element that they added to it.
Yeah. But that's not this game.
It's not. We are here to talk about Kirby's Dream Land, the game that started it all.
Yeah, it feels
without
like
Kirby's without Kirby's Dream Land, we would not have Forgotten Lands.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
Kirby and Dreamland walked, so Kirby and the Forgotten Land could run.
I say we go ahead and throw in some Freedom gameplay footage.
Yeah,
Sounds
you guys get that done.
Yeah, so like I said before, I wasn't exactly sure what to expect with this one because I had only played one other one before. Like I said, very enjoyable, very simplistic. As you can see, as you guys already know, you can't do any of the power-ups and stuff like that, which is like one of the very first things I noticed. The bosses were pretty straightforward, the music was classic for the Game Boy. Definitely enjoyable. The boss, anybody can pick up this game and enjoy it if they haven't done anything at all, obviously it's made mainly, originally it was probably just mainly made for kids and stuff like that. The levels weren't difficult at all. I think I died maybe like one time throughout this, and it was because there was a pitfall that something kind of pushed me down into a hole. Other than that, I really like the references in some of the other games. I was just talking to Slow-Mo about this. This is actually Lolo from The Adventures of Lolo 1, 2, and 3 for the NES. I didn't know that he was a boss in this. Him and his girlfriend are actually a boss in this. But yeah, you see a lot of references from some of the other classic NES titles throughout the game. I think you actually see at some point, I don't think I showcased it, but you actually see the mask from Mario Brothers 2 that chases you when you pick up the key. You can fly, like Shadaloo was saying, you can fly infinitely on this. If you really wanted to just kind of fly through the level, you could. No power-ups, but you did have the star power and the wind that he had. Bosses were pretty great, not too overly difficult. It's mainly the same idea, just pick up one of the enemies and shoot it. That's pretty much it. Yeah, so but overall definitely enjoyed this one, I don't know if I would play this one in in like part of the stream selection. I'd probably play one of the later ones because obviously this one is pretty simplistic, but yeah, all the way around, pretty great game for being the first one in the series. Absolutely. And
this shmup sequence is so much fun. It's a nice breakup.
Dude.
It's a nice breakup.
It was very, very welcome, very enjoyable on that. But yeah, so that's pretty much. I think what was the Slow-Mo we were talking about? I think you said you beat it in like 27 minutes. I think I was around almost the exact same time. Literally, as soon as you put that in the Discord, I'm like, wow, I literally just beat it too. So, but yeah, pretty great all the way around. I definitely enjoyed it. So,
what's funny is I don't even think this is the shortest Kirby game. I'm pretty sure there are some on like Kirby Superstar that are shorter than this, and
wow.
For some reason I feel like there's one. Gosh, I don't know what that was on. That was shorter than that. It was really, really quick, but yeah, Kirby games like to keep it Short
Pretty
and simple.
straightforward. Yeah.
Yeah, this one is not foreign to that at all. So,
And like, I don't know, because Superstar is kind of like mini games anyway. This is probably the shortest, like, this is it game. You know, this is what you got.
Yeah.
Superstar's definitely got like 7 different things that you can do. But I mean, it's short, sweet. It's a good introduction to Kirby if you've never played the Kirby series. But you know, in Kirby, I think it starts in Kirby's Adventure where you get the power-ups,
right?
And you cannot fly forever. You will let that breath out eventually.
There you go.
Yeah, you kind of start to like float down or whatever. I can't remember. You start to like flutter down. You can't do it anymore.
You can fly up to a point, and then when you get to that point, you start going down.
Okay.
Adds a little more difficulty to it.
Welcome in, Diablo. By the way, great.
But I still love. Fun fact: Kirby was named after a lawyer that won a legal case for Nintendo.
Oh, you can't be reading that stuff. That's good trivia. So
I mean, I already knew that. So
yeah,
I on there.
That's pretty funny.
I did too. But yeah, so basically, I think that was through Nintendo was getting sued by Universal over Donkey Kong because Universal owned King Kong, and they're like, Nintendo's using this game Donkey Kong. So this lawyer represented them and won for Nintendo, and they said, "Hey, man,
Jack Kirby."
Jack Kirby.
Really?
We're gonna honor you. Cool. We're gonna honor you. So they used his name, Kirby. I think they also said something that they thought like he was kind of cute. They said he was kind of like cute and approachable, and they're like, "That's perfect. Kirby's cute and approachable too." So we'll call him Kirby. So
I don't know if it's gonna come up in the trivia, so I'm not gonna say anything about it. But there was kind of a discussion a while ago of people trying to figure out exactly what the heck he was. So.
Oh, Kirby, just like the being
like
of
what
Kirby?
He is, and I remember what someone had said, which completely makes sense, but I'm not going to say anything because it might come up in one of the trivia pieces. So, did we lose Slow-Mo?
Maybe.
I think we might have.
I'm out. He didn't want any more spoilers. Hey, I got a fun fact here.
I bet you he enjoyed the cutscenes in this one too.
Yeah, that's your favorite part, right, Slow-Mo? Or all the cutscenes in this?
Cutscenes. That's the best part of this game. Cutscenes.
Yep. There you go. S rank. So
I could go higher than us. I would.
Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna save this for trivia. I'm gonna save it for trivia. This is more of a fun facty kind of thing. It's before the quiz, but I will save it there, and you guys can give me your best guess. So I'm gonna hold my tongue for the moment, if you will.
There you go.
Do you have any footage or anything, Slow-Mo?
I do, but I just rolled my mouse over and the side button clicked and I went back. So I have to re-upload it all real fast.
Oh, Lord.
Re-upload it all. Okay, well, in the meantime, I will let you guys guess this as just kind of a fun little thing here. So we talked about, how short this game is, right? It's definitely a short game, sub 30 minute, especially for somebody like Freedom who's never played it before. If you played a platformer, easy to accomplish that. How much do you think this game cost MSRP at launch on the Game Boy back in the day?
On the day that it came out?
$79.99.
How much?
$79.99.
There's one guess. Freedom, what do you think?
Oh, man, when it very first came out, I don't even know what the prices were back then. I'd say maybe $40.
So what's really interesting about this, I probably would have sided with you originally, Slow-Mo, because a lot of the Super Nintendo games were in that $70 to $80 range at launch.
Video games used to be really expensive compared to like people complain that we're paying $60, $70 now. They used to be
really? Yeah, like I said, I didn't know.
Chrono Trigger was like $100 when it came out.
Oh, really? I think it was more than that. I think it was closer to 120.
I was going to say back in the day, obviously, if you didn't work, growing up at the age of that, my dad pretty much bought whatever at the time. So I don't even know. I wouldn't even know what the prices were back then.
Like if we were counting for inflation, we're probably playing like $20, $19.
I've told people that too, that I'm like, dude, if you were to, video game prices did not adjust for inflation over the years. And I'm like, if you were to take stuff like, oh yeah, for sure. That's what I'm like. If you were to take something like Chrono Trigger and adjust it from launch to where it is today, I think I did it just recently. It would have been like a $240 game, like at
Wow.
launch.
Wow.
So you got to like put into perspective how freaking expensive games were when they came out. But here's an interesting tidbit. I would not have guessed this. At launch, MSRP for Kirby's Dream Land on the Game Boy was $21.99. It was $22.
Okay.
Josh,
So-
Super Mario RPG when it came out in 1996 was $73 at Best Buy.
What?
Yep.
That is crazy.
Griff says worth it. Griff would pay $240 for Chrono Trigger.
Yeah, some people just absolutely love Chrono Trigger. Here's what I gotta say. This is gonna be a hot take.
Griff says
Dude,
it's the
we need a
greatest game of all
hot take
time.
bumper. I'm gonna come up with a hot take every single night. We need a hot take bumper on this podcast, and I will make that. But hot take. I think. Well, I don't think Chrono Trigger is as good as people think it is. I think it's a great game. I don't think it's as great as people think it is. But I think a majority of people like this game pretty much because of the ties to the creator of Dragon Ball being involved in this. And I think a lot of it has to do with kind of art and setting and not so much of like game and substance. Because there are definite things that kind of, in my opinion, halt progress in that game and it make it kind of not fun.
Griff says you have an L opinion.
That's fine. It's
I have
okay
a
to be
question for
wrong
Griff.
sometimes.
I have a question for Griff then. So you're saying Chrono Trigger is better than Mega Man X? I need a response
Ooh.
immediately, please.
Ooh.
I would argue different genres. I don't know if that's fair, but I
He
would
said
argue
the greatest
nonetheless.
game of all time, not the greatest
Yes.
RPG,
Played it before you watched
or any-
Dragon Ball. Okay, fair enough.
anything of that. He said the greatest game of all
I
time.
just-
He says it is.
I just
He
know
says
so
it's
many
better.
people that when he died, Toriyama died, everybody was like, in honor, I'm gonna play Chrono Trigger. And it's like, oh, so the thing he's not like totally known for? Okay, sounds good, guys. Whatever. Wonderful. If that's what you guys want to do. So
All right. Well, I'm gonna play my game footage now.
There you go.
ready.
While I just am confused at Griff. I don't even know who he is anymore. All right, here we go.
None of this makes sense.
It doesn't. All right. I played on a GBA emulator, so it made it colorful.
Nice.
You're welcome. So you don't have to stare at the same green video game forever. It's basic Kirby, you know. So basic that you don't have the power-ups, and you can just fly forever. But definitely not the game that I thought I played as a kid. So we will, but it's okay because we're gonna get into it. You know,
Was technically this your first time playing this one then?
It was.
Okay.
It was. But I mean, it's still Kirby though, so it's still fun. It's just not the most fun Kirby game to me. Definitely Dreamland 2 is the one I was thinking of, and I will take all the comments I said about Kirby's Dreamland and direct them at Kirby's Dreamland 2. And I've decided already, you know, we're not to that part yet, but to replace this game on the wheel, I have chosen the next game in the series, next game in the Kirby franchise, Kirby's Adventure for the NES.
Oh, okay, all right. Well.
It doesn't play like an NES game. It plays like a Kirby game.
It plays like a Kirby game, yeah.
Same basic graphics and controls and everything. You still, I mean, it's as many buttons as there was on the Game Boy.
Yeah.
So it's gonna play the same as the Game Boy, and it's fun. I haven't played it, but yeah, 27 minutes probably, 28 maybe. Game was done. Really, really simple, really straightforward. Great game for a kid, you know.
Yeah.
I think, I mean, to be fair, I think it's kind of a great game for like all age ranges.
Anybody,
it does work. It does work pretty good in that respect.
It goes back to what I've said before about it's one of those games that you can just play and chill and not stress out and just relax.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
So it's not bad. It's not a bad game. It's very just very raw bare bones Kirby.
Yeah, I mean it was before they figured out exactly what direction they wanted to go with it, and it was basic but great, great
gravity
classic.
circuit is on the wheel. It is not, but it very well could be in the near future.
Needs
That
to
is
be.
a really good game.
So I was gonna ask because so this Kirby is on the Switch online service. It exists there. So
Okay.
if you want to play it there, you can. But for fans of Kirby, the name's eluding me now. The Kirby Superstar, I think it's just Kirby Superstar, right? For the Super Nintendo, that has kind of I'd say a collage of multiple Kirby games and appearances.
Right.
I think this game's basically on there,
Okay.
but like in a remastered form, like I don't know. I'll have to double check that. But that was always the one that was kind of my go-to because I mean I was a big Super Nintendo guy, so I was like, oh, this thing kind of has a bunch of different Kirbys. And then I know they re-released that for the Nintendo DS as well, which I happen to.
Superstar doesn't do it for me.
Superstar does it. It is kind of a weird list of Kirby games. It's not like Super Mario All Stars where you've got like, hey, 5 bangers or something on there. It's kind of weird little experiences of Kirby in like one Kirby game.
So what kind of gameplay is
like if we look at the Kirby franchise itself, I mean, I know Dreamland 2 came out like significantly after Superstars. And I think there were a few in between. Let me pull it up. Dreamland, you had Adventure, and then you had Pinball Land, Dream Course, and Avalanche before Dreamland 2.
Oh, wow.
And then, Superstar came out in 96 and Block Ball. So I think it combines like Block Ball, Avalanche, Dream Course, and stuff like that into one game.
You know what, though? I will say it's kind of interesting because it seems like they sort of approached Kirby in the same way what they were doing with Mario. Mario had a lot of really weird handheld experimental style games for the Game Boy too. I mean, he was in the Game & Watch stuff.
Don't say anything about 6 gold coins.
Hey, dude, that's like one of my favorite games. Oh my
god,
it's
such a good Mario game.
Which one's that?
6 golden coins.
That's Super Mario Land 2.
Yes.
I think that's the one where you fight like the little Sphinx character, right?
That's one. I think that's one. So two has like, it's kind of weird. You have like a cool world map and you can sort of go anywhere you want.
Oh wow, I haven't played that one.
But there's like a Honey I Shrunk the Kids style area where you like Mario shrinks down and you're running through like the front yard, then you're kind of like in the house. There's a whole space area where you're like jumping and floating through space. There's a whole underwater world. Honestly, I'm surprised they never made another like Mario game that was kind of based off of Super Mario Land because I feel like that'd be so ripe for just a cool 3D Mario.
Super Mario Land is like significantly underrated. People do not talk about it a lot.
Super Mario Land 1, I'm like kind of like, great. They got a Mario on a handheld. That was like their goal. Was like they just needed to get a Mario game on a handheld, and they did it. And Nintendo was like, "Cool, thank you." But Mario Land 2 was like, "Oh, this is like a game now. Like we made a full on experience."
Super Mario Land 1 was the Kirby Dreamland.
That's correct.
Mario.
I don't like agreeing with you on anything, but I will agree with you on that.
So I was gonna ask earlier, what I saw that they had that Kirby Air Ride. What is that about?
That's
like Wave Race 64, but Kirby.
It's what?
It's Wave Race 64, but Kirby.
Oh my gosh!
I would say it's a little more than that. It's definitely got a cult. Definitely has a cult following.
Okay.
I would imagine. I haven't looked.
I saw the cover and I'm like, I don't know anything about this.
You know that part of Spyro where you have to like fly through the rings and
it's like pretty much the same idea.
No, I would not describe it as that.
No.
It's definitely a fast-paced kind of like racing style game, and Kirby's
it's not like Superman 64, is it?
It's hang gliding Mario Kart.
Dude, whatever. Okay,
you know
in Mario Kart
8 where you get the hang glider.
Yeah,
it's that.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Okay, if you say
I'm,
so,
I'm
boss.
saying all the things just to
It's
see how
almost
mad I
like
can
you
make Shadow
played
lose.
Manhunt, right? Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah, jeez. I would not describe it as any of those things. Air Ride is per Griff. It is really fun.
It's a Donkey or Diddy Kong Racing, but only the plane.
That's okay. Fine, whatever. Sounds good. I'm curious. Is Kirby's Air Ride is that like actually pretty expensive nowadays? Because
Probably.
that's one of those where I definitely know it has like a cult following, but it's not one you hear about a lot. Like I don't hear a lot of people bring that up. So
It is 6156 loose.
that's not too loose. Okay.
Yeah,
And what system did it come out
8637
for?
complete inbox. GameCube.
Wow.
GameCube, okay.
That's a
But
lot.
GameCube games in general are kind of expensive. So
Yeah.
GameCube's in that like golden era now where
yeah,
like
it's right up
the
there with like
younger
Saturn.
people-
You know?
Yeah.
in a weird way, it kind of is. I've got some really expensive GameCube games that I'm probably never going to play. And I'm at that point where I'm like, I just need to sell these things. So
Mm.
I don't know. Anyway, Kirby and Dreamland. There
So
we
should
are.
we rank? Should we rank it this time?
We should, I guess.
I think so.
I think we're there. All right. So, Kirby's Dream Land. As you can see, I put it in the C category as a placeholder. That is no indicator of how I feel about the game. With that being said, I give it a C. It's very middle of the road game, and it's not like something I would play all the time. It's not as exciting as like Rocket Knight or Shinobi or Darkwing Duck. It's very, I mean, it's still a good game. It's still better, in my opinion, than like Kendo Rage or Green Dog, but it's not far off. You know, I mean, it's still very simple and very easy.
Well, here's where I struggle with this ranking. Not specifically yours, but just ranking this game. Is there's two different trains of thought in my mind. There's the train of thought of just the game as a whole, how competent it is, how well it works. And then there's a rank of where it is in the list of other Kirby games, right? And that's where I kind of struggle with it. Because if you're going to rank it against other Kirby games, I wouldn't even bother playing this one. Like, I've played it, and I really don't have a reason to go back to it. I would rather just play other Kirby games. That's even like forgetting Kirby in the Forgotten Land. I just games that are specifically like this, the 2D side-scrolling platforming Kirby games. I wouldn't play this one. There's better Kirby games out there. So I'm not going to approach it that way, because if I did, it would be pretty low on the rank. I think overall, from a competency level, I mean, you got to factor in how short that game is. It looks great. It's fun. It sounds great. But, man, there's not much meat on the bone, especially without power-ups and things like that. I think, middle of the line is, like, perfect. And I would err more on the side of a C than I would a B, middle of the line. It's just not what I would go back to. It's a fun playthrough for a first time, but I say play through it, figure out where the game came from, and then move on to better titles and be done. So I think I'm kind of in the same boat there.
Gotcha. I like I said before, I haven't played many Kirby games. I think this is literally the second Kirby game I've played. I could definitely appreciate the idea of this is the very first game. They were just trying to figure things out. Level design was pretty straightforward. The enemies were not, they weren't difficult at all. I feel they did very well. I think it's a perfect type of game for being very simplistic, very bare bones, as Shadowloo said. The soundtrack was pretty great. Each level had its own soundtrack. Wasn't too bad, but it wasn't overly great. Bosses were pretty straightforward. I liked the fact that each level had some of the same sprites and enemies, but each level also had some of their own idea. I would definitely stick with the C with this, like you guys said. Pretty bare bones. I appreciate where it came from. It's it's before they had any real big ideas about power-ups and stuff like that. So appreciating the nostalgia of it and also understanding there's way better games in the series, I would definitely rank it a C.
Yeah. I think C is very fair for this game.
I see your point. Don't
Sounds
cover
good.
up my dad joke with the First Round Showdown podcast logo.
It didn't go.
Rude.
Also, I want to point out that a speed run of this game, the fastest time is 9 minutes and 46 seconds.
Whew.
That sounds about right.
Yes.
And that's no skip, no nothing. That's
9 minutes 46 seconds.
I guess that would probably be considered any percent or whatever, no glitch run or something like that. Because I'm sure I don't know what you would consider 100% for that game if you have
Beating
to get.
It really.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. There's no like items to get that add percentage.
There's not even really any skips. It's just they got normal mode and extra mode. And normal mode 9 minutes 40. And it makes sense because you can fly through this whole game.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can fly without flaw.
So.
And F without F. Yeah.
Griff says you should feel bad about that joke.
You know what? I do feel bad. Thanks. Here I am.
All right. Are you guys ready for our additional segment that we are fully introducing now?
Go ahead, Chance. You got it.
If it's the one I'm thinking, I say let's do it.
It's trivia time, guys. All right, guys.
I'll look after. Okay, it looks cool.
In trivia moving forward, we'll try to do our best to keep it game based. So
I'm going to start with a fun little fact here, fun little tidbit of information here, and I'm going to make you guys guess just out of curiosity. But if you did not know, Kirby's Dream Land was the highest selling Kirby game until Kirby and the Forgotten Land. So it held the title for the most sold Kirby game all the way until just recently. Yes.
That's not a fun fact. That's kind of just maybe like it held that because people weren't excited about Kirby games anymore.
So it was at 5.1 million copies sold, and I'm gonna have you guys guess. What was the number that beat that? So how much do you think Kirby and the Forgotten Lands sold?
What was the number for
5.1? 5.1 for Kirby's Dream Land.
I'm gonna say at least double.
You think double that? Okay. What do you think, Freedom?
I'm thinking.
I changed it. 5.2.
5.2.
I'm going Price is Right rules here.
All right.
Yeah. I'd say probably 5.5, 5.6.
Okay, so it did sell, and in respect to those numbers, considerably higher at 7.5 million copies worldwide. The game sold 2.1 million copies in its first week of sales. Ooh. So it basically did double, or almost double what the original game did in its first week. So
nice.
Pretty interesting there. Okay, so what we're going to do in this case, I found a random internet quiz in relation to Kirby. It is 10 questions. We're going to collectively as a group try to get 100% here, try to make the teacher happy. Some of us, I think, probably know some of the answers to these. Some of us probably don't, and that's why we got to work together. So we're going to go through these 10 questions here really quickly and see how well we did. Without further ado, question number 1, and I think we all know this. What/who was Kirby named after?
Jack Kirby.
Jack Kirby. So we're going to go ahead. It's actually, I think it's John Kirby, technically. I don't know.
Is it?
Figure it out. Maybe. I'll check it out. But our options were vacuum cleaner, John Kirby, Kirby Jenner, or drinking straw. I think we know who that is. Either way, it's the guy with the name Kirby. It's a lawyer.
It's a Kirby guy.
Yes, Kirby guy. Okay, question number 2. Kirby was once turned into what? A sheep, a watermelon, yarn, or hair?
Yarn.
Pretty positive it is yarn.
It's yarn.
And reason for that, I don't know. Did you know the answer to that, Freedom? Just out of curiosity.
I did not. I was going to say sheep.
There is a game. Kirby
is there
Yarn,
really?
Something. Yeah.
Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Epic Yarn.
I think
Really?
What it's
What?
called? Yes, where the whole world is all yarn and craft. Or no, because Yeah, it is, right? That's the one that's all crafty, but there's like also a Yoshi's Crafty World or
I was gonna
Yoshi's
say
Woolly
that's what I was
World.
thinking. Yeah, because Yoshi's
Yeah.
all made of like yeah, I've seen that too.
Yeah, because here, I was gonna say I've got it. Where is it? Kirby's
Yeah, 'cause-
Epic Yarn, right here.
Nice.
And you kind of do. He's got like a whip and everything else, and everything is yarn, and it uses motion controls, and it's
yeah,
kinda,
there you go.
but-
Yeah, the Yoshi Woolly World.
But I think that isn't there a Crafty World too for the Switch? Isn't that
I've
one that
seen-
Yeah,
came out as
Yoshi's
well?
Crafted World. Yeah,
Oh,
Yoshi's
yeah.
Crafted World on the Switch.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this one I absolutely do not know. It says, this has to be from like the N64 Crystal Shards or something era. So I'm just like, it says, what fairy fell in love with Kirby? Navi, which I'm going to say no on that one. Queen of the Fairies, Ribbon, or Posy? You guys have any idea on that?
I think it's
If I
Navi.
guessed, I would say Posy. If
You
I'm
think
guessing,
Posy? I'm gonna get. I'm
I'm
thinking
just
it's.
guessing.
I'm thinking it's Posy or Ribbon, because Ribbon and Epic Yarn and like kind of crafty stuff. I don't know. That's kind of where my brain's at.
I think it's
What-
Navi.
You think it's Navi?
I do.
You dirty liar.
I swear I do. It just sounds right.
Navi's from Zelda.
That's
Okay.
Nintendo.
You straight up. You 100% think this is gonna be Navi.
I don't necessarily know. I just feel like it is.
Well, we gotta go with something. I think we're all split. If I had to decide on anything, if I was gonna give him my vote, I would go with Posy. I think
Yeah, let's go. We can go
both.
Posey.
Okay, we'll go with Posy. There is a hint option which will eliminate 50% of the options, but I'm going to try to avoid that.
Yeah, let's not do that.
We're going to keep it legit.
Better
So
than this.
we're going to go with Posy on that. What story is referenced in the main story mode of Kirby Triple Deluxe? It says Cinderella, Puss in Boots, Jack and the Beanstalk, or Beauty and the Beast. So apparently one of those fairy tales.
I feel like it's gonna be Jack and the Beanstalk.
I was gonna say I'm gonna say Jack and the Beanstalk.
I think it probably is too, because that would make
Because
sense.
all
to
those
sort of
other ones-
transition to the
Well, not only
cloud.
that, but you had Cinderella, right? Is that what you said?
Cinderella, Puss in Boots,
Puss in Boots.
Jack and the Beanstalk, and Beauty and the Beast.
The other three are copyrighted.
All of those are copyrighted Disney Pixar. Yeah.
Right. Jack and the Beanstalk's
Oh,
not going to be copyrighted. That's pretty like.
interesting. That's a weird way to look at it. I wouldn't have looked at it that way. But you know what? I my gut is kind of feels like Jack and the Beanstalk anyway.
Plus,
Planet
Jack and the
thing,
Beanstalk just
big-
feels
Yeah.
like just feels Kirby-ish.
Feels Kirby-ish. Okay, perfect. In Kirby Star Allies, what is the signature symbol? It says 2 red triangles, a gold star, a pink heart, or Kirby's head. I don't know the signature symbol. I mean, the gold star feels like it's in every Kirby game.
And it's Star Allies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Why would it be anything else?
Okay. I mean, I can kind of see the heart too, because Kirby's got like hearty stuff at times. But
Yeah.
all right, let's go with the obvious one. We'll go with the gold
Yeah,
star. We're
we'll
gonna go
go
with the
with star,
gold
yeah.
star on that one. Okay. Which enemy appeared as the final boss in 3 Kirby games? Okay. So this is interesting. I can take a guess on this. But there's the Nightmare Wizard, Queen Sectonia, Meta Knight, or Dark Matter.
I'm gonna say
Gotta be
Meta
Meta
Knight.
Knight.
I think I'm gonna guess Meta Knight too, right? Yeah. Okay, let's do Meta Knight. We could be wrong. I don't know. Okay, next one. Kirby befriended one of King Dedede's Waddle Dees. You can always find him as long as he wears his what? I think you and I probably know this from Forgotten Lands.
I have
Slow-mo. We
no
might-
idea.
A red beret, a blue bandana, a brown safari hat, or a yellow fedora. I'm pretty positive it's a
red
blue
beret.
bandana. I think it's a blue bandana because I think he has like a bandana with like a tie on the back and he uses a spear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say red sounds right. Like if I had no idea, I would have guessed a red bandana. But the
But
fact
the,
that there's
the Waddle Dees are red, so that would just
so
be
maybe that's how
very
they
flashy.
separate.
Yeah, it'd be very
Yeah.
flashy.
Okay, so I'm blue bandana, pretty positive. I'm like
There you
95%
go.
positive on that. All right, next one. Which abilities does not have a second form? I'm assuming that's because you can upgrade them kind of in later games.
Yeah.
So there's the sword ability, the mirror ability, the hammer, or the beam. And the sword I know has a second level.
It does.
The hammer does.
Yeah.
I would say probably. So I think we either have a chance between mirror or beam, and I don't know about the beam one.
I'm gonna go with
I'm
mirror.
thinking. I've only, like I said, the one that I've played. I don't think you can even like level them up. I think they're
How would
just
you
a
even
base.
upgrade a mirror?
I don't know.
Well, I was trying to think because the mirror ability is not in Forgotten Land, right? I know other games you can. Yeah, shoot. So it's either mirror or beam. Do we want to?
I feel like it's mirror.
You feel like mirror?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
let's go mirror. We'll do mirror. 2 more questions.
All right.
In Kirby Triple Deluxe, and second time reference in here, in Kirby Triple Deluxe, how many people of the sky must you save in level 4 of Royal Road? I have no idea. This sounds like this is going to be a complete guess. We have 10, 13, 6, or none. I don't know if that none is the right answer. Could we go to the crowd? Does anybody know this in the crowd? In the comments?
People watching, help us.
Anybody watching know the answer to this? In Kirby Triple Deluxe, how many people of the sky must you save in level 4 of Royal Road? So this is why I need the.
If I had to guess, I would say 6.
Think 6. 6 feels like that.
For just being one level.
Rick,
if it was
a
a game, it would be more than that.
Okay.
We got a 6 in the chat too. So
who would even remember? I don't know. The guy who made this quiz. People have
6.
No time on their hands, or all time on their hands. They can make Kirby quizzes online.
Let's go 6.
Okay, 6 it is. Last and final question of tonight's Kirby quiz. In Kirby Crystal Shards, which character does not join Kirby in the adventure? King Dedede, Waddle Dee, Adeline, or Meta Knight? And I'm trying to think because Crystal Shards. I don't know. At one point in time, Meta Knight kind of is on his side. King Dedede works with him sometimes. Waddle Dee's his buddy.
Right. Oh.
Adeline. I don't know who that is.
Oh, look,
you have Crystal Shards? You're looking on the cover?
Wait, hold on. Maybe the Japanese version.
Do you have an English copy and a Japanese copy of Crystal Shards?
I do.
Why?
Nice.
It's so pretty. Have you seen it?
Oh, well, yes. Is that the one with the lady that paints
look at this
stuff?
Look at this. It's boring, right? It's just Kirby.
Yeah, very very boring cover. Yes.
This one's beautiful.
Yeah, that one looks a lot nicer.
Nice little
And it's got Dedede and Waddle Dee and the girl, so we're going with Meta Knight.
Ooh, you know what? We used some practical effects to answer that question out of a process of elimination. I think that's fair.
There you go.
I'm going to go ahead and submit our answer. Submit my answers. Let's see. Question 1. Who/what was Kirby named after? John Kirby was correct. He was the lawyer that defended Nintendo. We knew that. Perfect to go there. Question number 2. Kirby was once turned into what? Our answer was yarn, and it was correct based off of Kirby's epic yarn. So that's 2 for 2 so far. Question number 3. What fairy fell in love with Kirby? We answered Posey. That answer was incorrect. I'm sure Freedom's going to kick our butt for this one. The correct answer was Ribbon. Okay, so there we go. We got it there. In Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, Kirby helps a little fairy named Ribbon. You own 2 copies of that game, and you didn't know that the fairy Ribbon fell in love?
The art on Japanese copies are...
Oh, they're way better.
They're so good. I actually have more Japanese N64 games than I have regular N64 games.
There you go.
Yeah, because they're cheaper, and
I don't play them. I don't play them. I keep them just for the labels, just for the cover art.
Just for the
labels. I love it. They look so good. They do. Like,
all right, hey man, I feel like you're feeling a little something on the Japanese.
I'm feeling like we got ripped off.
Oh, okay, all right.
Art.
You know what? You know what I feel that way about. 100% what I feel that way about. I'll tell you right now. Since we're talking Nintendo, why in the hell didn't we get this? Why didn't we get this?
Yeah.
This whole console, this whole art style, oh my god, so much better. Why didn't we get the Super Famicom? Why did we get the stupid, big, chunky, gray and purple industrial design?
Is that the red one?
Super Nintendo. No,
Why?
this is just your regular.
Which
regular
one's the red
beautiful-
one?
That was
Look
just
at
What's the
this.
red and white? Is that the Japanese
It
version?
is perfect.
No, it was
In
that was just
every
the
way.
Famicom, I think, before the
Yeah.
Looks
Super
so
Famicom.
good. Yes, the Famicom. I mean, this is insane to me. I cannot believe we didn't do this. So anyway,
Why
yes.
didn't we get an orange GameCube? You know?
Yeah.
Why didn't we? We need a whole other segment. A whole other segment of the why didn't we in an alternate universe? All right, so up until this point, basically, it shows you the percentage of people who get these right or wrong. Most of these have been 50%. So, question number 4, it says, what stories referenced in the main story mode of Kirby Triple Deluxe? We answered Jack and the Beanstalk, and that is correct. It says, the people of the sky put all their hopes and dreams into a magic bean and dropped it down into dreamland. So,
Nice.
who knew? Who
Nice.
knew? We
Who
did.
knew?
We did, apparently. Next question. In Kirby Star Allies, what is the signature symbol? We answered a gold star. The correct answer was a pink heart. See, I wasn't
Are
that
you
far
serious?
off.
Oh, there you go.
I wasn't that far off. I was pretty.
That's
It says there are a lot
dumb.
of stars in the game, but hearts are a key symbol in the game, while dark hearts stand for destruction. Pink hearts stand for friendship. Who knew? 50% of the people answered that correctly. So only 50% of the people knew. Which enemy appeared as the final boss in 3 Kirby games? We answered Meta Knight. The correct answer was Dark Matter.
Ooh.
News to me. It says Dark Matter is a being made up of negative energy. It can control other creatures and take other forms. It also appeared in Pokemon Super Mystery Dungeon. That's interesting.
Wow.
But it is unknown if it is the same one or a different one. Who don't know. Kirby befriended one of King Dedede's Waddle Dees. You can always find him as long as he wears his what? We answered blue bandana. That was correct. Blue bandana is correct. So we got it. And he uses a spear of his choice for his weapon. Which ability does not have a second form? We answered Mirror. Mirror was also correct. In Kirby Return to Dreamland, Kirby can unlock powerful forms of some of his abilities for a short time. The Mirror ability was not available in that game and not something you can upgrade. So there you go. 2 more questions. Let's see how we did. In Kirby Triple Deluxe, how many people of the sky must you save in level 4 of Royal Road? Our answer was 6. The correct answer was none. They all have to die. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. But yes, you cannot actually save anybody.
You actually have to use them to like spit at bad guys.
Oh,
they're the weapon. Yeah.
there you
Yeah,
go.
they are.
You need to use them to save them, right? That's the problem. It's a conundrum. Only 34% of players answered that correctly, and it was technically a trick question. I guess people of the sky is in level 5, not level 4. So that was a very technical question.
There you go.
We wouldn't have known it all. But the last one, in Kirby Crystal Shards, which character does not join Kirby in the adventure? Our answer was Meta Knight, per logic and physical prop copy, and I guess cheating in a way. And our answer was correct. So with that, we ended up with a 6 out of 10. So collectively, we've got
We did
about
better than everybody else.
what we did. The average score for this quiz is a 5 out of 10. So we are,
There you go.
as you can say, above average.
There you go.
For the
There's
first time
your-
in my life.
For when we were in school, it's a passing 60%. I don't know about nowadays.
That's right. That's right.
Oh.
So there's
Are you
trivia
guys
time.
ready
Everybody.
to
Let's
spin the wheel?
spin that
though?
baby.
Spin the wheel.
Yeah, I mean, we got what, 10
What's the
minutes left?
misery going to be this week?
Who knows, you know?
Pushing for Cuphead, right?
Pushing for Cuphead.
I'm pushing for a PS1 game of some kind. I'm itching for PS1.
You're itching for some
Something.
PS1?
Yes,
Well,
I am. They
let's
can't medicate. The only
find-
medication we
Fan-
got is the
fan
wheel.
vote. Fan vote Blasto.
Let's find out. All right. Let's give this about 46 shuffles real quick, and then we will.
Oh
Toba?
yeah, baby!
Mr. Bones.
No way! Come on! We were
Nice.
that close to Toomba, and we got to do Mr.
Nice.
Oh man!
Nice, nice.
Mr. Bones.
This is a very outside of the box thinking great game that I grew up with. I don't know if
This
you
game's
guys have
expensive.
played it or have seen gameplay. Great.
I've
great
seen
game.
Freedom play it.
It's a pretty great game. Each level is there's a lot of side scrolling, but there's a lot of other weird levels in between as well. So give this the old college try if you can.
Yeah. This is,
Wait a minute, did you put something to replace Kirby? And you already put that on there?
Oh, I did.
Okay,
Kirby's
cool.
Adventure. Diablo says 60% was never passing when I was in school. It was always 70. And I think I'm older than you, Freedom. Ooh.
Maybe. I'm
Who's
40.
the old man?
D was technically passing in my school. I knew that. It was like
But
F you were in
my-
trouble,
our-
but
Where I went
I-
to school, the grade scale was different than it is now because a 69 and below was an F.
Okay.
oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So a 70 was passing, 70 and up.
Huh.
We always wanted to get something better than at least a 70 or higher. But,
Okay.
yeah,
Mr. Bones.
Mr. Bones, do you want to play some show some gameplay real quick, or what do you think?
Let's do it, I guess.
So price charting, let's see. A loose price is $48. Complete is about 75. Shoot.
You said complete at 75?
Yeah. 75 isn't as bad as I thought it would be for Saturn.
I'm glad I still have my copy.
Huh. Still got your copy.
Yep. Good stuff, man.
Yeah, that's something like, man, for as much as I love the Dreamcast, like the Dreamcast constantly teeters at like probably my top favorite console. It's fighting something for that spot. I don't know what it's fighting, but I love the Dreamcast. And so this Saturn always felt like that weird stepping stone that it's like almost Dreamcast.
Oh, this is a long cutscene.
It is just so expensive to collect for, though.
Yeah, soundtrack's pretty great on this one. You know, your spirit is like this bluesy guitar player guy. Like your character learns how to play the guitar fairly like quickly. And they use that power and his blue like energy power right there, depending on how much health bar. Your health bar is the word bones up there, by the way.
Oh, that's actually some pretty kind of pre-rendered.
Yeah, it's pretty great. You know, the gameplay is definitely different. You know, there's probably going to be some complaining. This like this right here is just one of those levels where, you know, you got.
Is it like an FMV almost? Like it's like a video in the background that you're trying to like. Huh.
Yeah. And that's top down. Yeah, you have to use the platforms and stuff like that. Pretty great stuff all the way around. That level right there is called Funny Bones. You actually have to use the buttons to tell jokes. Each button has a part of a joke, and you have to say it correctly to send the guy back.
Oh no!
Goes back of the bar and orders a drink. The bartender says, "Hey, aren't you the same string who just came in here?"
Oh jeez.
All right.
Yeah, not too bad, man. Not too bad. I hope you guys enjoy this one a little bit.
Will it be the next Skull Monkeys or will it be an F?
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what you guys think.
You know what that reminds me? Just reading the description, it reminds me of Johnny Bazooka Tone. Did anybody get to play Johnny Bazooka Tone?
I did. Yeah, long time ago, but yeah.
I've got a PS1 long box version of that, and I know that was also on the Sega Saturn, but it is just like this really weird. I'm trying to remember what it was. It's like a rock band, and I think the devil steals all of the members except for one of them. So you essentially try to go on a journey to get the rest of your band members back. But you kind of have like a guitar blaster weapon. It's really strange, but it has an amazing soundtrack because it was the soundtrack was made by some other famous rocker. I don't remember. Here goes composer. Let me see.
I want to make sure anybody who, you know, if you're going to emulate this, there's 2 discs.
Yep.
So you have to download both discs.
don't think I've ever had a Saturn emulator, so I'll have to. I mean, I'm definitely not gonna get a physical copy of it for myself.
Let me let me know if you guys have any problems with emulating it and we need to switch the game, because I've emulated Saturn before, but then some ROMs were giving me a hard way to go, so I don't know if you guys would have a hard way to go with some of them or not. But like I said, I have the physical copy, so I'm probably just gonna hook up my Saturn again and just play the physical copy.
I don't even own a Sega Saturn, so
Yeah,
I
got, like
I
some of
don't
those
own a
Saturn
Sega
games.
Saturn because Sega Saturn games are expensive, and I don't want to pay all that money.
They are. They are. I was trying to actually get another Sega Saturn game this weekend, but by the time I went back to the place that they had the one that I wanted,
Was
within the
gone?
last 2 weeks, someone had already bought it. Yeah, so
What game was it?
Three Dirty Dwarves. It was another
Oh.
weird game that I grew up with back in the day, and pretty great. If I can find another copy somewhere, I'm definitely gonna pick it up. But yeah,
I'm gonna put Conker's Bad Fur Day on the list.
there you go.
No, I will not
No.
do that.
I have that is one I have not played.
That'll get us banned from everything. I think
Probably.
it's bad.
I guess maybe. I think TikTok scraping would probably mess that up and make it not good.
Yeah.
But it's possible.
What's that game on that gets you immediately banned on TikTok? I know Griff knows it.
Oh, I
Griff,
have no idea.
Griff knows the game. I forget the name.
I don't know.
Is
Is that like legit?
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember hearing somebody said something about.
I think
that
it's Leisure
to
Suit
me.
Larry.
Oh, of course.
Maybe.
Of
Yeah.
course.
I mean, that would make
Of
sense.
course, dude.
Yeah,
The that whole series was like
Who was
not,
it? There was somebody like they had like 200,000 followers, and they played Leisure Suit Larry and got banned immediately.
Instantly,
their-
that's
Couldn't
so
get their
funny.
account back or anything. Like full
Wow.
on perma banned.
That would be like trying to play the guy game.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
yeah.
would be
There's
like playing the guy game for the PlayStation 2.
I was gonna say there's a lot of games, honestly, that I think could fall into that category and probably get you into trouble. I was thinking about like BMX Triple X and some of those other titles
yeah.
that, you know, have that weird, edgy kind of vibe to it. But yeah, anyway. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
It was Danielle. He's right. He knows who it was.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which Danielle?
British girl.
Really?
With a big
She
PS1
played
collection.
Leisure. Yeah, she played Leisure Suit. She got
She
banned.
had an account. She
Her?
played Leisure Suit
Really?
Larry and got permanent banned and had to get a whole start over.
Oh man.
Oh,
I
I didn't know
remember
she
her,
was
yeah.
like that high.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm friends with her other account. I didn't know she was like. I didn't know she had another account on top of that had all this stuff. Interesting.
She had an account and got banned, and she had to start a new account.
Yes.
Couldn't get it back.
Rickles, the guy game would get you into legal trouble because, I'm not going to say on here because I want to get us banned
legal
from here.
trouble?
But there was underage problems with that video, with that game.
Oh, well, yeah, we don't want to talk
When
about
the
that.
game was created, someone
Gotta hire
was
John Kirby.
17 instead of 18. Yeah.
I mean, so they Blue Lagooned it, huh?
There's I was just thinking of another movie. There's something. It's called like the something Rose, the Red Rose. It has Sean Connery in it, and it has a similar problem with that too.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right,
Looks
guys.
like we're winding down. Yeah.
Time for us to split. So
Skedaddle.
we will see you all next week, where we will talk about Mr. Bones.
Yep.
for the
Bones.
Sega
Hope
Saturn.
everybody enjoys it. Give it the old college try. Slow-mo. I know you're not into cutscenes, but maybe you'll enjoy some of these.
Maybe I'll skip every one of them.
Maybe you'll skip every one of them.
Yeah.
So anyway.
All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.